Today I have the honor of interviewing Ms. Shellz. The Cree Hip-Hop artist is the winner of the 2022 Best Female Hip-Hop Artist Award by the IIHAS. In addition to her music, she's also the owner of Native by Nature. We're gonna go ahead and bring her into the interview and talk about her career and her clothing line. Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. You look great. I love the background.
Thank you.
It's fun.
A for effort.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining the Cristopolis show. It's truly an honor to have you on to talk about your career, your new album, the touring you've been doing, Native by Nature, everything. You know, it's truly.
Yeah.
I always like to start off and have artists talk about their creative journey, their music journey, how you fell in love with music, how you first got started, that beginning part of your music career. Can you share that with us?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I wouldn't have an outlet, that living on the res, you don't really have an outlet to put your feelings, your anger, your frustrations, So I found poetry. Poetry was lit. And then Tupac was a fucking big thing when I started my poetry journey. So it kind of evolved into what I am now. But it went from Tupac to Biggie to all the way up to Snow the Product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. She's a big inspiration. So did you start as more like poetry, spoken word before you started doing it on beats?
Well, first off, I started doing the poetry first, and then I started I got a really dope MacBook this one time, and I started learning how to make my own beat. And I didn't know there was this 30-day trial thing.
Yeah.
So I made this really cool beat. I was so excited, and it took me pretty much that 30 days to create that beat. And right when I was done, it was the 30th day.
No.
Boom!
And it disappeared.
Everything was gone, and I was like, damn, there's got to be a better way.
Right.
So I started finding beats on YouTube, and then my homies would make beats.
Right.
So
yeah,
evolved.
You got great production. So I wanted to ask you that, you start with poetry and then you start working on some beats and finding beats online. At what point do you start getting into the studio?
I think in 2014, in 2013, 14-ish, I started, so back in those days, I had a LG flip phone, and what I was doing, because I didn't have access to a studio, I didn't have access to people to put me on to certain things, So what I would do is I'd record my verse on that LG flip phone and send it to the homies, and they would do it. And then I was like, damn, there's gotta be a better way. So I started learning how to engineer myself.
What program did you use? What program?
I was using, at the time, I was checking out Fruity Loops, and then it moved on to, now I'm I play with Nuendo a lot. I want to move on to something else, but
yeah. Yeah, a lot of people started with Fruity Loops. They had a lot of producers started with Fruity Loops, and now it's become the standard for a lot of people who produce in the computer, right? So you've got people who produce on drum machines and things like that. But for people who produce on the computer, Fruity Loops became the standard in a lot of ways. It's interesting. So that's how you started recording.
Yeah.
Wow. And the production, did you keep producing, or did you start working with producers?
Oh yeah, no. I started working with different producers here and there. I would send my vocals out. So the song that I won for the Best Female Hip-Hop Artist, Level Up, that song I sent out to Drama B. He's a really dope producer slash slash artist from New York. So I tapped in with him, and then we created that, and it turned into something really dope. I ended up shooting a music video out in Hollywood with Shutter Room Productions.
Yeah.
So
It's a
it
dope
was
video.
really dope.
It's a dope video. I was looking for like a clip, you know, to promote this interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at that video and the city. And I wanted to go with the clip from the city, but the Level Up video is dope. You're all over LA in that video.
Mm-hmm.
How many days did it take to shoot that video?
2. Yeah, 2 days. I had to so I had it, he was a part of our journeys. So when we went out to the West Coast Function Fest last year with through the Indigenous Warrior Enterprise, they brought me out. I was a headliner, and yeah, we ended up like our crossing paths. I made sure that I was like, yo, I'm coming through that way. Yeah. We have this amount of time. Let's go.
Yeah, it's dope. No, you showed up and you were in Hollywood. You were at the Hollywood sign. You were you had downtown behind you and different seats. It was like a really cool.
You know, my favorite part of that video was when there was the little girls. Yeah. The little girls were watching me, and they come up to me and they're like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like they ran across the street.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, that's lit." That was awesome.
Can you tell us, you know, for like, so you're a lot of the awards and people that you're collaborating with are in different indigenous coalitions of sorts. For people that don't know that much about that, can you tell us about some of the events and awards and things you're participating in that are, you know, like indigenous hip hop, native hip hop, a little bit about your background and hip hop, you know, in that movement?
Mm-hmm. So right now we're having the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards, and that's like I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd annual now. Yeah. And it's like a big award show that brings a bunch of artists together from all over Canada, the US, and we celebrate. Yeah. Yeah. So like it's dope when you meet different tribes and different people and we all come together. It's really, really, really dope.
Yeah. And then you've been doing events, like you just recently wrapped up the road tripping tour.
Yeah, the road tour. Yeah, so the road tripping tour was really, really dope. It was with Indigenous Warrior Enterprises, and it was me, Kiera Dawn Colson. She's another amazing singer, activist, rapper, all that good stuff. You should check her out. Savell the Native, Wasala Music, and Richie Ladrigal. So we all went to Vegas, Santa Rosa, and then we hit it off in Albuquerque.
For the gathering of these festivals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was amazing. When we went there, you know, traveling, doing this whole road tripping tour, I got to see every back road that there is on North America. Oh my word. I didn't think that many reserves.
Got it.
Yeah.
Was it a cool
experience? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We went through the Battle of the Little Bighorn. That was powerful.
Wow.
You could feel like the energies in the woods when you're on the roads.
Yeah, the gathering of the MCs tour, I know Defy, and I wound up interviewing Defy through this platform. And then that's how I found out about you. And I was like, dude, she's dope. Right? And that's how the connection happened, was through the gathering of the MCs. What was it like performing there with you? Because there were a lot of MCs that showed up to that event.
It was huge. There was so much people there. It was like, so when we got there, we literally just came from Vegas. We're driving all that time. So when we got there, we had like 10 minutes, 7, maybe 8 minutes, so we barely just made our say.
Are you serious? You came from the road to the stage.
Road to the stage. Wow. And before I went on stage, I was nicely walking and I tripped.
No.
And I tripped in a little tree and I was like, boop, boop. I was like, oh shit.
So like, right before you got on stage, like people were probably texting, they're like, "Are you gonna make it?" And you're like, "We're parking."
She biffed it. Yeah. So I'm on stage and my knee's bleeding. I'm like, oh shit, fuck it, we gotta go. So we got there, we did the set, we killed it, and then we were getting ready for. I wanted to be a part of the cipher. I was outside with homegirl, and we missed our time
for the cipher.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance at that?
No. Huh?
Did you get a chance at all to like jump in the cipher?
Nope.
Got it. There's too many.
There's rules. There's rules to that shit. I thought I could, man. I went up there and I was like, I'm here. Nope, there's rules to that shit.
Yeah. Next year.
Yep. Most definitely. I went to the gathering of nations.
Yeah.
And I really want to hit up stage 49.
So
I was like, that's
the Gathering of Nations.
The Gathering of Nations is the world's biggest powwow.
Okay.
So like everybody from everywhere comes to that powwow and we all celebrate. There's music, there's live bands, there's everything. Yeah. So this was my first year experiencing it, and I was like amazed. And I was like, I have to perform here.
Is it in different places each year, or is it always in the same?
No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it might be in the same area, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, you have to do that also. That's dope, man. When you did the road tripping tour, you had already released your new album, Boss Lady.
Yeah. So I released that on my birthday. I wanted it to be a birthday gift to everybody who believed in me.
Yeah, no, I love that. So I know you released it in January of this year. On what day? Like, what day is your birthday?
January 25th.
Got it. That's cool, man. So it was a gift, it was like an accomplishment and a gift.
Yeah. I don't know, for some reason, it took me 5 years to release that album. Yeah. Something kept happening. Something like the computer would break, the hard drive would crash, this would happen, the power went out, and we lost everything, and oh man, I had to start. So my original Boss Lady album is not even the same. It's not even the same as what it was.
Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With the third album, you did an incredible job, and you released singles. Like, you've been releasing singles.
Yeah. Yepers. And music videos too.
And dope music videos.
Thank you.
For the Boss Lady, who did the production on that album?
It was a mixture of myself, my partner Chief Rock, Goopster Room from the Valley out your guys' way, and Nova Studios. So I wanna learn how to engineer my own stuff and find my ear for mixing and mastering, so I could learn how to do it myself.
Yeah. No,
because it's not cheap.
Well, and also, once you get it, you'll know how to. I know a little bit about how to do engineering and stuff, and I didn't. I used to be really afraid of it, and you pay a lot of money to go to studios, and then you get it back, and it's not how you wanted it. And you got to go back again.
It
takes a month to do a song, Whereas when you know how to do it, you could turn it around pretty quickly. And once you figure it out, you could kind of get more. You could produce a lot more. So that's cool. And you produced also. So on your album, what songs on your album did you produce on the new one, Boss Lady?
Boss Lady, I did Never Thought, I Know. I think that's it. Yeah.
That's dope. So you're a producer and MC. Wow.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing it. You won Best Female Hip-Hop Artist of the Year, at the IIHAS. So you're definitely making it felt. You're putting waves out there for sure. So, and there's growth, you know, when you listen to your debut album, Miss Shellz, and you listen to Boss Lady, right? You see the evolution of the artist,
Oh,
you know?
if you found my SoundCloud, you would be like, whoa, shit.
I didn't go on the SoundCloud. Tell us about the SoundCloud. What's on there?
That's how I started. You're gonna find the cell phone vibes. You're gonna find the old school stuff. You're gonna find where I can barely rap. Like, I was gonna delete it, but I'm like, you know, that's growth.
Yeah.
You have to see that shit. Like, that's from 2010 and up. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's your catalog.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know you just dropped Boss Lady and you're touring on it and you're pushing it. Are you recording now? Are you thinking about working, you know, dropping another album in the near future?
Yes. So I'm dropping another album. It's going to be, I don't have a name for it yet, but it's going to be another 10-song album, but it's also going to be coming with a workshop. So this workshop is called Ministry Monopoly. So my next album is going to be more of like the inner shell.
Yeah.
That's
a good name. That's a dope name. Because you're Miss Shellz, this is the inner Shellz.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good name, actually.
You came up with that. So say, what did you say? What did you say? Ministry Monopoly? What else?
Yes. So Ministry Monopoly is me spreading awareness to the mothers out there who have children in care, who are fighting against the system and can't seem to win. You know, because like I had a hard life before all this music shit.
Yeah.
You know, so like this is me giving back to the community that helped me. So I want to help other mothers, show them a way to bring their babies home. Like, we're all worthy of having our families reunited in a good way, you know?
Yeah. So situations where for one reason or another, people aren't parenting their children. Like the children are in the system.
Yeah. Like when there's certain situations where, you know, the mother needs a little hand up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. And you want to capture that through your music, but then you also want there to be practical, like a book, like a work, like a how are you
like a workshop? Like I'm gonna be speaking to them, like almost like a motivational workshop where I'm like, this is how I did it. Maybe this is how you could do it too.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really valuable information because, you know, it's like each individual doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. Like there's things that like, okay, if you handle this and then you handle this, you're going to get this result. But for people to have to do that all by themselves makes it harder. Whereas somebody's kind of like saying, hey, this is my testimony, this is what I've been through, it would really have a big impact and help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Yeah, I salute you. You're in addition to your music, right? So you've got all the singles that you've put out, the videos, you're touring, new album, but you're also a business owner. And you have Native by Nature apparel right there. There it is. And you've got a lot of cool designs. Can you talk to us about, I mean, I was blown away by the designs. Can you talk to us about the business, when you started it, you know, and different, you know, what type of apparel you have?
Yeah, so actually the one that's commenting right now, Complex Minorities, me and him, we got a dope collab coming out really, really soon. I met Hans in Santa Rosa. He puts on amazing shows. Tap in with him as well. He's dope. Yeah, so like when I started Native Nature, it was actually a part of my first song called Get That Money.
Okay.
My first debut song, it's a part of verse 3, and it was random too. I was like, hey, Native by Nature, let me put that on a shirt. And I actually didn't think it was going to be like what it is now. I was just, hey, I'm going to put it on a shirt. Put it on a shirt. I walked out the store. Ay, that's a dope shirt. That's a dope shirt. I like your shirt. Where'd you get that from? I was like, ding, 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 light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. Boom. We had a company invest in us and believe in us, and they trademarked the brand for us as well as my name. You know, so we were working with the company, and then we created Native by Nature, and it blew up.
Yeah. And you've got like, I mean, I've seen T-shirts, I've seen, you know, print T-shirts, but then I've also seen like indigenous patterns. I've seen all sorts of swag. You know, tell us about it. Like, do you design it? Do you work with designers? You've had fashion shows.
Yeah, I did my first fashion show was actually on a yacht. It was really dope. One of the very first fashion shows on a yacht in Vancouver. And I was on that. That was really dope. And then it eventually helped me get more notice in the communities. And then I was a part of the Indigenous Voices of Fashion last year through Kim Coleman out here. Okay. And then there was another fashion show, and I had like 26 models. I was the one that had the most models, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I saw a video clip, and you're walking in front of them, and you're wearing, you know, and then I guess that's like at the end, right, where they like the outro.
Yeah.
So you went from a verse with a dope lyric to being like, that's a dope lyric, let me put it on a shirt, to the shirt getting so much attention. You're like, well, let me make more shirts and sell these, to a company seeing that and investing in you. And now you've got to basically design and choreograph fashion shows. Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Wow. Way to sum it up.
You're like that. So,
yeah, I like how you said that.
Are there parallels, you know, as a performing artist that gets on the mic and gets on the stage and rocks the crowd? Are there parallels in designing that type of show and in designing a show for your apparel, your clothing line, for your different, you know, the different types? Because when you do a fashion show, you're like, okay, we're going to do this type right now, then we're going to do this type, you know, comes after. So are there parallels that you've learned? What's it like to do like a fashion show?
So with a fashion show, I'm behind scenes. So a lot of the times, if you're an artist, you're rapping during your line. Yeah. But what I've noticed is I have to be backstage, and I have to make sure that all these models are suited properly, and then this person has that, like, and you go here, this person goes last, like that's a whole different vibe than performing. So when I'm performing, it's just me getting in my element, take that breather, feel it in your tummy, and go.
Right.
Way easier. Way easier to do the show than the fashion show.
Wow. So so the fashion shows that you've done, when it's your slot, right? How long does the brand, right, your Native by Nature brand, how long do they normally get during the fashion show? Like, how long is a slot?
I'd say it's a quick 15 minutes. Okay. 15, even sometimes it's 10, 5, like it's something. Yeah. Sometimes it's quick, and you're like, oh wow, we're already done. That was what?
It's like bam.
Yeah. And it's like out, and then we're done. We're like, whoa.
Wow. Right, and then at the very end, you go out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for Native by Nature, are you doing it like and you'll have to excuse me because I'm not a designer. I don't know as much about clothing, but is it by like seasons? Do you design like the season? Like, okay, this is going to be summer 2023. We're going to rock these designs. Do you bring stuff back? Like if it's a bestseller, like you just keep this one going, but other ones get phased out. How do you do all that?
Yeah. So like I follow the seasons, and sometimes what you get is like you get these really dope fits, but you only get them once. And it's like, oh do enjoy that. But yeah, we go with the seasons. We have to, because like I was making these Cookum Scarf hoodies, and these Cookum Scarf hoodies are my best seller. And mind you, it takes me about 2 hours to create it, from cutting out the fabric to sewing it together to hemming it to putting it on. Like it's quite the work.
Yeah.
So like I think that's more winter and a fall hoodie season vibe, because I was trying to push it still in the summertime, and they're like, it's kind of hot. So definitely so cool. Seasonal.
Yeah, and I've like you have some clips where like you're actually cutting things and putting patterns together and actually doing it, right? Do you do each piece, or do you work with people? You know, do you outsource it?
I do each piece. I was like, you know what would be really cool if I actually had a Cookum to work with and make these real Cookum Scarf authentic hoodies.
Yeah, that was what you're making each piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Each one.
And
I moved from silk screen to vinyl to there's one, I don't know what it's called yet, but I've had my fair share of like learning through all the different ways to create merch.
So I'm blown away by that. So you got a shirt done, and then you started, you know, making more because there was a demand. So you filled the demand, and you've now learned how to do silk screening, how to do sew. Did you always sew, or did you learn for this?
No, my mom taught me when I was a kid.
Okay, got it. So you've always been into that and known how. And then what about the designs? Do you design everything?
No, I have my partner. He's in here right now. Sino General. He designs the graphics, but we also have another guy, Richie Dolo. He's really awesome. He does a lot of work for the Canadian artists. So he's really dope. Yeah.
Girl saying DTF printing, direct to film printing.
Yes, that's the new one that we're working with.
Yeah,
direct to film.
He's like, boom. Thank you so much. That's cool.
Yeah.
So if people, because you know, on your different social media, you're very active on Instagram, you're very active on TikTok. Your TikTok is dope. In your music videos, when you're on stage, and a lot of your pics, you're rocking your native by nature. You have great designs. If people wanted to order that, how do they, you know, how do they order it?
Right now, you just have to DM me. And you know what? You know what's like wildly kind of like weird, but like cool. I haven't had I haven't had a website all this time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for as good as I'm doing, and not having a website, like imagine what happens when I do get a website. So right now I'm working on a website, try to make it easier. But for now, everyone just direct messages me.
And live shows, because you probably have stuff at your shows or different things like
that. I always have merch. I always got a table. I'm always vending somewhere.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. So when it goes open to the world through a website, that's gonna unlock like the next level.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like ready.
You're gonna need help.
Just imagine 7 of me already.
Wow. So that's amazing. Now I know that you just got back from your tour not that long ago, and you hinted at, you know, some music videos and things coming up. What do you got coming up next?
I have a music video called Stunna coming out that I'm actually putting that one together. I want to learn how to make music videos. So that's my first project is Stunna.
Wow.
Yeah, so what I've been doing was collecting little clips here and there from my road tripping tour, when I'm on stage. So I'm just going to bring it all together and have a nice little package.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Because, okay, so tell us about the track Stunna.
Stunna. It's basically a track for like, for for the women. Like, let's stun on them. Like, it's time to like step into our elements, and this is who I am. This is what I used to be, but this is who I am now. Watch me stun. Like, it's time to glow up.
Yeah, and that's another track you have, Glow Up.
Glow up.
Yeah. It's a theme you have, which is it's a self-empowerment message for youth and for women that is, through your music. Your music is fresh and it's hip and it's strong, but there's a self-empowerment message that's there. And the audience feels it, and that's dope.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah, I have to. That's like, so when I make my music, if I'm talking about something like gritty, grimy, I always try to bring it back with a positive message, because I know there's youth that are like watching me.
Yeah.
And I have my own youth, so like they're definitely listening.
Absolutely. And also, you're more, I would say, double threat between your fashion design and your business and your music, but you're more like a quadruple threat, right? You're like a producer. You want to learn how to engineer, so you're going to handle the whole sound aspect. Now we're talking about cinematography, music videos, editing music videos, right? So you're truly like a Renaissance woman, right? That's a creative, and you're finding outlets for it. You're finding outlets for it. Yeah. So not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody has like the gumption to say like, I want to shoot a video. I'm going to do this. We're in Vegas. We're in Albuquerque. We're in LA. We're in California, right? I'm taking, I'm going to be shooting. I'm going to use all this later to put together a video, So were you shooting it, what kind of camera were you shooting it on? Was it on was it on an iPhone? Was it on a different type of camera?
So this is the funny part. Okay, bet. So like when I was on my journeys, I was literally out the window. I'm shooting a music video for my other friend, Kiara Dawn Colson. I mentioned her earlier, but I'm shooting a music video for her as well. So like I had this little DJI Osmo, we're shooting on it all the way, all our journeys. I'm not even using my phone to shoot because I have that.
Yeah.
Man, after our Vegas show, which was sold out, it was lit. We packed a house, and it turned into like this little cool after party. So like after that, we go to the casino, which is open fucking all night.
24
so
hours.
we go up, we go eat. We're having breakfast. I left the camera on right beside me. Oh man.
The camera's still in Vegas.
Vegas has it now. Vegas has it now, yo. Wow. I was like, what? No. Shit.
Right.
So now I'm using my phone.
Yeah. Phones work incredible. Yeah. The phones work incredible.
Yeah.
Like
it does. It actually does. It has like 4K and shit.
Yeah. Fancy cameras work good, but like it's harder to get the content off of them. You gotta have, so obviously there's like levels. At the highest level, you want the best cameras. But like
so I was able to save some footage because my friend had to transfer it. So I was able to save the first portion, but after Vegas is done.
Get out of here.
I was like, why?
So for the video that for Stunner, and for the video you're working on for your friend, are you going to edit it? How are you going to edit it? Tell us about what you're learning, what you're using.
Yeah. So back in, I want to say 2019 when COVID hit, okay, I got approved to be a part of this indigenous retreat. So a bunch of artists come together and they learn with different producers. They learn different things. Like they're there for to learn about their craft and how to perfect it, right? So because of COVID, we weren't allowed to gathered together. But what they did was give us like $15,000 worth of equipment.
Wow.
So they gave us a MacBook, they gave us a Blackmagic design pocket camera, they gave us lightings, they gave us stuff that I don't even know what it is. Like I still
You're like,
still to this day
I don't figure it out, but I don't know.
Yeah, like, this big keyboard thing looks important, so we're gonna save you. But yeah, so like I've been shooting on the Blackmagic pocket design camera, and I've learned that it comes with a program, and the program is called DaVinci Resolve, and it's one of the top
Editing.
one of the top. Yes, I was like, thank you, creator.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you. So you're editing it on DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope. You're killing it this year. Because once you know your first video, your second video, you're off to the races. Nobody's gonna stop you. You're gonna be doing it all.
Yo, I want to just drop videos. Boom, 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 boom. Drop them.
Yeah. That's dope. Wow. So you're pushing Boss Lady right now. You're working on the follow-up album to Boss Lady. Between Miss Shellz and Boss Lady, there was a bit of a gap, even though you did release a bunch of singles. Do you think you're going to be dropping an album as soon as 2024?
I'm dropping it. I want to drop it by the end of the year. Like, I already have it done. It's done. Now I just have to, like, I have to pick it apart.
Okay.
Pick each song apart. Make sure everything sounds proper, send it off for mixing and mastering. See, that's the part, that part. I'm like, I need to learn that.
Yeah.
Mixing and mastering, and boom. So I'm going to be doing each track from here until like December. My goal is December 16th because that's an important date for me. That's my mother's birthday, so that's my gift to her. My mother is a part of the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women of Canada, and I've been like living through her ever since.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful gift to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a beautiful gift to her. Wow, that's awesome. If people want to send you production, if people want to collaborate with you and work with you artistically, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can hit me up on Instagram. They can hit me up anywhere. I'm always active everywhere.
Yeah, because you're active on TikTok too.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I like going live on there too.
Yeah, that's really, really dope. And, you know, as far as artists, you know, because you're already working with a lot of different artists, Aries Soul, and you've collaborated with other female MCs. Are there any artists that, you know, you would like to work with that are the same vibe as you, that you're like, I need to collaborate with them?
I'm aiming here. I want to work with Snow the Product, Honey Cocaine, fucking shit. I don't even know. There's so many. There's so many dope artists out there. Vel the Wonder. She was dope. She was
at Gathering.
Yes. Yeah. So I opened up for her back in 2019 before COVID happened.
Yeah.
I was able to open up for her in Albuquerque.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like it's beautiful when our paths were able to cross again.
Yeah. And you're like, what's
She's
up?
like,
Big thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was like all love.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I hope that those collaborations work out. I'm really blown away by your creativity. I'm blown away by not only what you've already done with Boss Lady, your debut album, Miss Shellz, your incredible music videos, how you're touring, your own company, the fact that you're hands-on and you're actually creating a lot of, you know, the different clothing items, the designs that you do, all of that's amazing. But then the next level, you know, the beat production, the recording, mixing and mastering, and then on the video side, the editing and shooting, you know, basically being a director, right? I'm blown away by your creativity.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, truly. Before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to make sure people know about? Any upcoming shows, any specific song, video that you want to plug?
Any upcoming shows? I have a show in Kenyatta Arizona in August. I have a show in Washington, OMAC in July. So I'm like, I'm still traveling out there. I'm still staying. Yeah, I'm trying to actually. So when we went to Albuquerque, me and my homegirl Kiera, we were able to make a connect with Mozzie, and Mozzie was from he was the opener, or no, he was the headliner from Def Jam.
Wow.
So that's why everybody was there to see. So we were able to make a connection with him, and he's like, yo, link me when you come to New York. We're going to make it rain when you guys come to New York. So now that's the goal.
Go to New York.
We're going to New York. We have to. Like, there's no ifs, ands, ways, nothing. I have to do that.
That's dope.
So when I get to New York, I also set it up with Drama B that I was talking about. He made me a beat. He made me a beat on live out of nowhere, just because I show like crazy love and support, and I'm always supporting. And he's like, yo, I'm going to make you a beat. And I was like, oh. And he made me a beat. So I'm like, yo, you have to engineer this. So when I go to New York, we're definitely going to try Link. I would love for him to shoot a music video for me.
Yeah.
Like, I want the New York trip to be like full circle. Yeah. Like, everything
basically like
has to come together.
When you came to LA, you shot a video, you went to all the dope spots. Do the same in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
You're an incredible creative. I want to thank you for the work you've done, for your contributions to hip hop, for the impact you're having in the community. I'm cheering for you, and I'd love to do this again sometime in the future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Peace.
All right.